Did you know that one of the things that's overlooked in tennis is understanding the right strategies to use to play winning tennis? And the pros do it better than anyone. That's why they're pros. And I want to share with you a 5-step formula by modeling one of the best players in the world. We're going to watch a real point from this player, and we're going to break it down. I'm going to give you a 5-step formula to help you play smarter tennis. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution. Absolutely passionate about helping players like you accelerate your results. And I want to show you with this 5-step formula to help you play smarter winning tennis right now. Let's dig into this point with Alexander Zverev playing Andrey Rublev. And so he is serving, Zverev is serving from the Deuce court. And it just so happens that it's match point. So I want you to take a look at what he does with his serve and the first ball after. I'm going to take you through a 5-step sequence here on what is being focused on and what's being practiced and executed. So let's go ahead and take a look. We'll watch the point in real time. Serves out wide. Open court first ball comes in. Knocks off the volley. Great way to finish off a match, right? That's the type of tennis that you want to be playing, right? So step 1, I believe the wide serve, especially for a right-hander in the Deuce court, is one of the most effective serves to hit in tennis. It opens up the court. You'll notice, look how he's pulling his opponent off the court. And even if he doesn't hit a perfect serve and his opponent hits a great return back, which his opponent hit a pretty good return, he's got the whole court to hit the ball in. So you'll see Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, a lot of players like to use this wide serve on big points in the Deuce court. So I encourage you to make that one of, if not your best serve. You go out on the court, you put targets down, and you just see if you can work on your wide serve. One thing I also like to do is if you're not great at your wide serve, you don't have to stand here. You could actually move out a little bit wider to give yourself more angle. Even if your opponent knows that you're serving wide, just pulling them off the court gives you this whole court. So that's step 1 in your journey to playing smarter tennis. Use the wide serve, especially in the Deuce court. Now, I'm a lefty, and I used to use the wide serve in the ad court all day long because, again, it opens up the court. It gives me a clear target to hit to on the next shot. Speaking of next shots, let's move on to step 2. So this ball comes back hard and through the middle. Now, there's a subtle thing that I want to show you here in a moment. But what I love here is that Zverev takes this ball, comes out of his serve, and he has to back up, right? He's into the court. The ball comes back fast. He has to step back. And as he's hitting, notice how his left leg goes back in space right there. Look at that. Now, I actually teach this footwork pattern where if the ball comes fast through the middle, I call it a step back. You load on your outside leg and you step back as you hit it. I see a lot of players getting this ball and they squat and they step into it and they end up missing it completely. So the footwork is great here. This is a time where you go backwards. It's like absorbing the hit or absorbing the punch. He's going backwards, leaning back as he hits the ball. That is okay on this shot. But the point of this strategy we want to focus on is just hitting to the open court. See that? Now, here's what's really cool. And this is something a lot of club players overlook. First of all, what I want you to notice is this target. Look at the target he hits to. So look where that ball lands. It lands a good 3 to 4 feet from the single sideline, and it lands on the service line. So this notion that you have to hit the first shot deep is not accurate, especially if you pull your opponent wide. All you have to do is redirect and make them run. And in many cases, it's actually better to have that ball land a little bit shorter. Now, I don't think Zverev meant to do that, but the way that he massaged it, he didn't overhit. He didn't accelerate the racket. He just redirected the ball with good hands as he stepped back with his left leg. Now, here's where it gets really cool, and this is step 3. After you've played this 1-2 pattern where you go where you serve wide and then you play to the open court. If you hit a great shot, especially in the deuce court, and you see your opponent running over and he's got a slice grip where he's going to slice his backhand here, look at Zverev running in, the sneak attack. He didn't plan on approaching the net. He didn't know he was going to hit such an accurate ball that landed so far away from Rublev that he has to run across the court. Look at how much distance Rublev has to cover. Look at where Zverev is. He's behind the baseline. But as soon as he sees him running across the court and he's going to hit with one hand, he's moving forward. And this is something a lot of club players really miss. As soon as you see your opponent coming to the ball with a slice grip and the ball's dropping, you move forward. Now, sometimes players actually move forward too early and they get caught on this. Zverev plans this out perfectly where he sees he's got his opponent stretched and he starts striding in. Look at the big steps coming in and look at where he splits. A lot of people think you need to split step by the service line. Nope, he split steps well behind the service line. He's just splitting and timing the split. You don't have to get to the service line here. You just want to be on balance. So the sneak attack is absolutely awesome, okay? So the next thing, we want to transition into the fourth step here, and this fourth step involves the backhand volley. So what I want you to notice on the backhand volley, a lot of players or a lot of coaches actually say to turn sideways on the backhand volley. Okay, turning sideways on the backhand volley. Now, look at what's interesting here when you watch this. When he's running forward after the split, look at his hips. See how his hips are facing that? He's just running forward. Look at his hips. They only turn sideways after the hit. The shoulders only turn completely sideways after the hit to keep his balance. Isn't that amazing? This is counter to what coaches are teaching you out there. They're teaching you to turn sideways right away. But look at his shoulders facing the net. Look at his hips facing the net. Look how big his steps are. That's how he can close that ball. Look where he makes contact with the ball. Way inside the service line. You can't do that if you turn sideways. Look at where he splits. His split step is here, okay? 1, 2, and then on the third step, he's making contact way inside the service line. All because he's running forward and not turning his shoulders too early. I also love, you can't really see it with the racket work, he carves inside the ball a little bit to create side spin. The final thing I want you to notice about this backhand volley is the karaoke step after. So he strides to the ball facing the net, and then as he hits it, he turns sideways, and there's the karaoke for balance with the foot coming behind. This is impeccable footwork. It could not have been done better. Textbook. Now, if this ball would have been hit wider, then you wouldn't have used this footwork pattern. But because this ball is near the middle, in order to create space and stay away from the ball, the karaoke after is a great way to go. Great footwork pattern. So that's step 4 in this point. Now I want to break down step 5. I've talked about it a little bit earlier, and it might be hard to see on this video, but this volley lands at the service line. It lands at the service line. This volley was not hit deep. So again, if coaches have been telling you hit your volleys deep, I think that's a mistake. There's a time and a place, but in many points you don't have to hit your volleys deep. You've got your opponent way off the court. It's not about hitting deep. It's just about hitting away to a safe target. And that's my step number 5 is safe targets. When this ball lands, it's a good 4 feet from the sideline. No risk at all. Now on this volley right here, look where it lands. Not middle of this service box right here. Remember where the approach shot went? Let's go back, take it all the way back to the approach shot. This is still step 5 where we're talking about targets. I talked about this earlier. Look at this target, service line. So essentially in this point, there was a serve, an approach shot, and 2 volleys. The approach shot hit to the service line. The first volley hit to the service line. And the second volley hit inside the service line. Where's the depth? Yes, you need to hit deep sometimes, but there's so much infatuation from coaches and players. You have to hit deep, deep, deep. We're showing you a world-class player hitting 3 out of 4 shots short, away from the opponent. And the 4th shot was a serve that was hit to a nice target. So that's a 5-step formula. Step number 1, work on your wide serve in the deuce court if you're right-handed. Step number 2, play to the open court and focus on playing to a safe target and using the right footwork. But play to the open court, that's serve +1. Step number 3, when you stretch your opponent to the backhand, sneak in. Step number 4, when you attack your backhand volley, face the net more and attack it with your footwork. Okay, get the right footwork on your backhand volley without turning sideways too early, I should say. And finally, step number 5, aim to safe targets. Aim just past the service line on your volleys and even some of your defensive shots, but aim to safe targets. That's your 5-step approach to help you play smarter tennis. I just love helping players understand the game within the game, what the pros are actually doing and what they're focusing on. And I hope that you can take 1, 2, 3, or all of these tips with you on the court and start applying it to your game right now. And you can. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us that thumbs up. It really helps the channel. It helps us out. We love to give this information away for free, but it definitely helps if you can share this with others. Leave your comments and your questions below, and make sure that you click the link below. If you haven't done this already, you're missing out. There are 21 free lessons I'm giving away inside our free membership portal. It's on our app, it's in our online portal, and these lessons will help you accelerate your results. It really is the next journey to help you get to the next level. No credit card required, no strings attached. I just want to get this valuable content in your hands. So go ahead and click below or somewhere in this video, and we will see you at the next lesson.